Morning folks, Kevin here. Well, it's August 14th, 2025. I'm out in the first food forest. I gotta pick some peaches today, but I've got to walk around, and I thought what I'd do is walk around and show you a couple of the trees that I absolutely love while I'm here. So this right here is our Illinois mulberry tree right here. This tree produces some of the tastiest fruit. I've never met anyone who's tasted the fruit off of this mulberry tree that just doesn't love it. It's got just the right amount of sweetness and flavor. They produce for such a long period of time. Here's some of the fruit here. They get longer than this. Some of them are longer than this, but there's some right here. So they turn like a nice deep purple. So this has been producing for like 2 months now. But this is what the fruit looks like. So I can control the camera here. And boy, are they ever delicious. Take the stem out. People love them. Just an amazing fruit. And they produce for such long periods of time. So from this one here, I did a hardwood cutting from, and I'm going to have to do a whole bunch more. Put them on different pieces of the property, different places. The birds love them. So here's some more right here. Beautiful, beautiful fruit. So that's when they're ripe. This is when they're very immature, starting to mature. You know, the various stages. And this is when they're overripe and the insects have gotten to them. But you will compete with the birds. The birds are in here continuously, especially during nesting season. You know, like a little over a month ago. They're just in here constantly. So anyways, what I was going to do, I've got to go out and pick some more peaches from that first peach tree that I picked from. It's a blushing star peach tree. Big, juicy, some of the most delicious peaches that we have. But I got to walk around each time I come out here and take a look at some of the other peach trees. So this is another peach tree. I think this is one that I grew from seed. The labels blew off of it, and I had to string it up. There's a paracord string on here right now. You could play a guitar with it here, hooked to this flowering pear tree here. But these are very similar in flavor, not quite as big. So here's my hand here with this peach. I think we got, this one's going to be about, it's still firm. This is about the size that these ones get, and these are stone free as well. So the flesh of the peach doesn't adhere tightly to the seed itself, to the pit. So that's one thing. This is like a semi-dwarf variety. This is actually one that I bought, and I can't remember which one it is now. But it's a very nice, it's a flavorful peach. So we got about 4 to 5 days before this fruit is ready to harvest. This is another variety. And really this one should be strung up too. This one got deer rub as well. This whole area here was wiped right out. It's healing. But when the trees get damaged like that, so if you've got the ability to fence them in your yard, it'd be much better than the way that I'm doing it here, because the deer will come up, they'll grab a hold of these lower limbs here and just pull them right down. So this is all right. I think this is Flaming Fury. They're a smaller peach. We've got probably another 5 days before I can start harvesting these ones. There's the size of my hand. That's one of the larger ones on this one. But if the fruit were thinned properly, they'd probably be larger fruit. So that's a nice one. This tree really needs some extra support. Let's look at another peach here. Here's another peach here. So this one, One of the challenges with peach trees is how rapidly they can grow and how many fruit they can set on a limb. And so right here, you see all this beautiful looking fruit here? Well, that limb snapped up there. And I didn't get to thinning all of this, and I didn't prune this one correctly. So it is an issue. Now I had pruned this one and thinned these other sections out here, but this one could go at any time. There's so much weight on that limb. Now this is where an insect got to this one. This one's got a ways to go. The insects or the birds are getting to a lot of this fruit. So, but these are a nice, I think this is Flaming Fury as well. It's one of those ones. I got this from Starkbro, and I really do like the fruit that I get from Starkbro. There, oh, let's see, here it is here. Yeah, Flaming Fury. Flaming Fury Supreme. Really, really nice fruit tree. They grow a lot. You gotta prune them, and you gotta thin the fruit before they get to this point. Like, look at that apple there. I showed this the other day. But this apple tree is a really hardy one, and the apple limbs can withstand a lot more pressure on them. Not a lot, well, not a lot more, but they can withstand more pressure on them. Okay, this is another variety that's closer to the Flamin' Fury and Awe, and these are a real nice fruit as well. These are about 4 to 5 days from harvesting, so I got to be thinking about this soon. And you see, I didn't thin this fruit. We could have some serious issues here. So maybe in 3 days I'll come over and start harvesting the fruit from this. 2 to 3 days. Okay, I want to look at another peach. We're going to ignore all the other fruit trees today. All right, this is a problem tree. All right, you see this? You see how that's oozing there? A lot of times this would be called gummosis, like gum. See how it's oozing and all? So it's attributed to, and you can see the leaf is just stuck right to it because it's adhered. A lot of the times this is attributed to insect damage, physical damage of some sort, but this happens each time with this tree, and it's a pain because it can produce some great fruit. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera to show up here. There's some nice fruit right there coming from it. So this could be a fungal disease as well. So there's some right on this one here. Sorry, holding this camera. And of course, once the juices start flowing out of these because of some damage to them, here they are here. Now certainly commercial places are going to spray them. And I certainly got some rude comments from a commenter recently about spraying them. I'm just not going to do it here. I'll get rid of the trees that aren't going to do well at all. So this one here, I'm going to do some heavy pruning on this one here, because I still think it's a savable tree. It has some good fruit on it. It tastes delicious. Nothing tastes quite as good as my Blushing Star ones and the runs that I grew from the Blushing Star, some of the ones. So let's walk over here. This is the one that took a lot of damage last year. First the deer damage, and then the storm damage. So this one really got wiped out. Next year we'll get tons of fruit off of this, but I've got more heavy pruning to do on this one as well. Beautiful, beautiful fruit. So this is a week away from being ready to pick. Let's go around. And it's such a drought here this year. The pears are having a real hard time here. Now these are my Bartlett and Kiefer pears. Yeah, they're just having a beast of a time here. I said I wasn't going to talk about the other fruit. The apples, they're just hardy ones, and I have seasonal varieties of the apples as well. In other words, some seasons they produce tremendous volumes of fruit, and other seasons they produce less. This is another beautiful tree. Now this one got wiped out when that tree split last year and wiped out a bunch of trees in here. But this is another delicious one that's a blushing star related one. But I've got a week and a half before this tree is ready to harvest. And you can see the deer. These are all deer nibbling here and pulling on these limbs. So I got to be real careful with this. Super important. So what can you do? We do our best. That's one of the pawpaws there. God, I love the taste of the pawpaws. Most people haven't had pawpaws, and they are so delicious. So there's one. They're kind of hard to see. I got to reach up here and see if I can get this. Well, I'll just point to it with the camera. So there's a small fruit there. A long time before these pawpaws will be ready. We got better than a month before they're ready to harvest. So, and of course we've got tons of apple trees around different parts of the property and all, which I showed some before, but they're really getting closer and closer to their time. This is the apple tree that I did the big pruning on recently. And I'll show you, there's going to be lots of new water sprouts. So these are those new water sprouts that I talked about. So we only want those. Like this one here might be the one. I may prune here again and let this one come out in this direction. These are the new growth right here since pruning. So like this one here, the ideal thing to do, since it's going back towards the center, boom, boom. I don't want them going back towards the center. We can look at this. We'll give these ones some time and see what they look like. But here, remember I cut off this whole big cluster here? All of this has got to go. We don't want these ones here. Maybe this one will be okay here, but I got way too many buggers right in here. Get rid of this. We'll look at these couple here, but this one would go into that one there. This is wrong direction. So that's the thing is, if only I had the time to come out here, just walk through each one of the food forests each day after I do pruning and come out and just take those little water sprouts out, keep the ones that we want going in the direction that we do want, because we do want the new growth when we're reshaping these trees. Like this one this one was pulled over, this apple tree here, and I didn't get to it, so there was a limb here that was just loaded with fruit last year. The deer pulled it over and pulled this tree just about out of the ground, and I just straightened it up. But all the growth was shooting up since it was leaning way over here. Hopefully that makes sense. Well, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and harvest some of the fruit out of here. Like this is one of those ones that I'd like to keep because it's heading in this direction. So always looking for balance in the trees. A little more weight going in the direction of the prevailing winds. So if the winds come out of the northwest, I want a little more growth going in that direction than I do on the southeast side, where, you know, it's just going to topple over, especially when we get those high snow loads and all. Okay, just wanted to take a quick walk around before I harvested the peach and talk about the peaches, give you some of my thoughts about them, and again, do as I suggest, pruning, thinning, not as I do, because you can make your life a heck of a lot easier. Well, that's it for today's video, folks. Hope you found something useful in there. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. And by all means, folks, stay safe and take care. Bye-bye now.